Just as much as he was on the floor, our energy and the excitement, he was a whole lot of the same off the floor. The little stupid games he brought back every summer from his Argentinian team that he made us all do, and he had that cup game on the bench where if he came back to the bench and he toned it down later on, but he used to actually put like a little bit of water in the cup, and he'd put it down, and he'd sit down, and so you have your shorts wet now. And another game where he'd walk up behind you and he'd put a fish hook in your mouth and he'd pull your, it's just, there were all kinds of little things that he would do that would just, it'd keep it light and fun, but you always knew around Manu, you just had to kind of keep your head up and be aware. At some point he broke his knob, so he can't turn it down. There's no down, it's stuck on 10, not all the time. So he's like that with everything. And it's fun to be around, but it's exhausting. I think he exhausted Pop a lot, which honestly is probably some of my favorite moments. Seeing the opposite happen, instead of Pop changing people and breaking people of habits and kind of conforming them to what the Spurs did, Manu went the opposite direction. He kind of broke the system. Obviously Pop is one of the best ever at figuring out what and when and how to pull the reins and let it go. I think a big part of the reason that he is that way is because of Manu.
We came from the same kind of backgrounds, meaning the way we play basketball, because in Europe, it's a very specific way how they teach you basketball. And so I figure, if Manu can play the same way that he's playing in Europe, and with Timmy and myself and Coach Pop, we can have a very good team. We were very, very blessed, and I appreciate even more when you think about it and you put it in perspective, everything that we accomplished. It was hard, to imagine that, because I'm coming from France, he's coming from Argentina, Timmy from the Virgin Islands. It's almost like impossible to script that. It was just an unbelievable journey, and creates, relationship that will last, for life. What we went through every day, the struggles, the up and downs, and to finally, win multiple championships, was just unbelievable. I knew we had something special, but it just makes it even more obvious that, what we had with those particular teams, and what we had here is very rare.
It was a blast. For me, unfortunately, I was kind of at the end of my career, and he was just getting started. So I would have loved to play more years with him. But getting to know him as a person and watching his style of play made me feel like this team is in really good hands. Obviously, Tim Duncan was already a great foundation, but then you add a Tony Parker and a Manu Ginobili, and I could retire feeling like, okay, this is going to keep going for a while. I know as a dad, you're always looking for, you want your kids to emulate the good guys. I took that very seriously as a player and as a kind of a media personality. I tried to be, a good example. We've had guys on our team, I think, who have taken it very, very seriously, and Manu is one of those guys. Manu is a guy, worldwide. I don't care where you're from. He's a guy that you could look up to. He's a guy that could be an example for you as a guy that kind of made it from the outside coming in, a guy that's doing it right while he's there, a guy that's doing all the right things on and off the court. And I think worldwide, Manu just became a great role model. And to this day, they're my son's heroes. And my sons are grown men now, but that's what they've been fortunate enough to grow up around. And I think it has shaped who they've become. And as a father, I've benefited from having great quality and quality people on the Spurs and great success.